Hello, it's Julia from Julia K Art Studio, and today we are not talking about making handmade watercolors. No, we are making with them. We are painting with them. Good grammar. Uh, so I'm actually sitting down making a good old-fashioned process video here together with you today. Um, as you might have noticed, Englishing is not really working today, but we're doing the best of it. My Swedishing isn't working very much either, so. mm, uh, but if you don't know, I'm Julia, and I have my own business where I sell handmade watercolors on Etsy. And today, I'm actually using them myself. Ah, yes, finally. So, I wanted to make a page in my sketchbook. The sketchbook I'm using is by Seawater Brighton. It is 350 GSM paper and it's cellulose paper. But I do have to say, it's a really nice paper to work with for a sketchbook. I really like it. I keep buying them, keep using them, so I think that's good. If I'm actually using up a watercolor sketchbook, that's my highest grade I can give. So, as you can see, I have put down post-it notes and tape, masking tape, washi tape, and painted with brown. I've tried to put up the colors I'm using on the screen, except for palette art. That is just whatever is left on my palette, hence palette art. Now, you might be thinking, what are you doing? Well, let me tell you. So, I wanted to make a page in my sketchbook that sort of felt like the playlist that I was currently listening to. I am very much a mood listener, and I have a lot of artists and albums and that kind of stuff that I really love and really enjoy listening to, but I have to be in the right mood. And for the last year, a playlist that I have been listening to over and over is what I call Lost at Sea. And it is just a lot of sort of folk songs, sea shanties, and yeah, I would say like stuff that has like a really nice beat and is really nice to sing out loud to. You have the classic, the Wallerman. You have, I have. It's my playlist. I have Rockstar Sea Shanty, My Mother Told Me, The Savage Daughter, Hoist the Colors, Ashes by Longest John, The Celtic Woman, Feed the Machine, Delta Ray, Longest John again. We have some by Peter Hollins. It's a real mix, but it has that sort of adventure-ish feel to it, I would say. So I wanted to make a page in my sketchbook that sort of reflected that, both in like visually reflecting that, but also that I could like write down my current obsession. And my idea, after I had been thinking about it, I really wanted to make like an old like news board, or like where you sort of staple all of different kinds of paper. So I'm thinking like a wood plank, and then people have, well, they don't staples obviously because that didn't exist in the pirate time, but like using nails and hammering up. So I wanted to have a few different like ship references, because a lot of the songs are about uh, going to sea and ships that are missing and that kind of stuff. And then I was like, this has to be the funniest idea I've ever done. I made a few bottles and I'm writing missing, like the rum is missing, like because it's always gone. The rum is always gone. Ah, sometimes I really do believe I am so funny. So I'm just, you know, documenting that. um, but on the whole, the things I'm using most on this spread is two I use a lot. And as you saw when I was using I have like a whole lid. You can see it back there on the palette. It's a lid that I filled with tea. I also have that with Agnes because I use them so much, and also I really like been able to get a big brush into them. The half pans are really good if you want a lot of color, but if you want a big brush, they don't really, get stuck into it, So so I use the tea a lot, and Albert used that a lot. That is my version of burnt sienna. Hell, I'm also using a lot. It's a granulating blue. It's a granulating black and blue color, and I just really like mixing that with other colors to get a deeper tone, but also to get a little bit of life in that granulation. Darcy and Belladonna, really dark colors that are really fun when you add more water to them. And then as my sort of pop of color, I'm using Marie, which is a PR101 or a red iron oxide. And the red iron oxide is one of those pigments that it's one of the first pigments ever used. Red iron oxide or oxides in general, ochres, they are like what the first people started using, as we know anyway. I'm currently reading a book about the history of different pigments. Well, I'm always reading books about pigments, but this book has really made a point of taking up that even though like we can prove that the early people used red iron oxide and yellow ochre to paint, we can only prove it because those pigments are still there, because they're so light fast. We don't know if they had different pigments for green or blue that have just sort of disappeared or faded because they were not light fast. And I think that's really interesting and something to remember. That was a side tangent and a half, isn't it? But yeah, so you can see Hilda is a sienna, and sienna is also one of those really, really early ones. I'm going to stop talking about different pigments now, I promise. So I have made like a few different collections of posters. I have made one with a ship that says like the Woolerman, and then of course we have the missing poster of rum because the rum is always gone. And then I made a big one with like a pirate flag, and I wanted to make like white sails on it, but the white it didn't. Yeah. I think one of the things that really made this page like really work was the shadowing that I did, and I decided to go in with Darcy. I do have Belladonna that I'm using now. You can see that that one is black. Darcy isn't black, but it's still dark enough it will read black without getting too dark, So I'm using Belladonna here to go over where I painted with the white before, just to add shadows so you can actually see what it is, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like it's not the best thing I've ever done. I'm not going to lie, it's not the best thing, but I had so much fun making this page, coming up with the first like how I wanted everything to be laid out, the different stuff, but then also finding different photos of like pirate ships. I have not painted pirate ships before, and I kind of really loved it. All the different sails and strings, that's not the right word. But I just really liked it, and I had I used a lot of colors, but it's a fairly tight color scheme, and I could make do with like the 3 colors I have on screen right now. But I have my whole palette with the colors I've made. I'm going to use all of them if I could. So, and then a lot of the different textures with trying to make the wood grain and everything, and trying to get the sort of gleam of the nails that have been used to to hammer up the different notes and stuff. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it really made me think, like, isn't that what it should be? Doing a sketchbook page? Shouldn't it be just having fun and sort of document stuff and explore and try new things? It sounds so obvious when you say it out loud. But yeah, so even though I made it a little bit time ago, I still felt like I really wanted to make sure to share it because it brought me so much joy. And now I'm thinking, what what else can I do with this kind of sort of painting slash documentary kind of feeling? And I do have started a new playlist, and I'm like, but that playlist is like, it's not really, it's not ready yet, you know? Like, I need a few more songs to really get it established. I don't know. Do you take your playlist this seriously? I don't know if I should. Um, I mean, I have different moods, and it has to feel right, you know. But I'm also feeling, I mean, with different books and TV shows, or like just to get stuff and to create that sort of mood. I don't know. I just, yeah, it was really fun. So, I would really like to know, do you listen to music like that? Do you have a certain playlist for different moods or different periods of your time? Because typically, right now, we are end of January, starting February. Typically, by now, I'm listening to like older jazz music, like Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong and that bunch of people. Jazz people, I suppose that bunch of people. That's what I typically would listen to now, and I'm switching. Like I have like certain things, and I am very hesitant to explore new music. I'm very set in my ways. Um, and yeah, I would just like. Do you enjoy listening to new music? Like, do you actively go out seeking new music, or are you like, no, if I find a new one I like and I can listen to, you know? Um, but yeah, I would love to know what you think. Yeah, I think music is so very personal. So yeah, I'm really questioning how I'm listening to music now just because of this, saying it out loud. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it got you some inspiration. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know, how do you listen to music? I hope to see you soon.